Tonight on Live from the Theater Basement, our correspondent Jamie Hassapis talks Flagstaff Beautification. What is community beautification? How does community beautification make a city a better place to live? And how does it also help drive the economy? Well, tonight we are going to talk with two experts on the subject from the city of Flagstaff here on Live from the Theater Basement.
Will Theatrikos have a 2022 season? Yes! With lots of safety protocols? Yes! 2022 is Theatrikos' 50th anniversary, and we've selected the very best of our shows from the past 50 years. Season tickets are now on sale at theatrikos.com. Welcome back to the theater.
I'm your host, Chris Verrill. Tonight, our correspondent Jamie Hassapis talks with Eliza Kretzmann and Jana Weldon from the city of Flagstaff. We're going to learn all about the advantages and what it takes when it comes to city beautification, here on Live from the Theater Basement.
Good evening, and welcome Eliza and Jana.
Hi, Jamie. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Hey, both of you work for the city of Flagstaff, working with arts and beautification and science and stuff like that. First of all, what is it that you guys do? What kind of changes, and what is the importance of what you do to our city?
So we have several
Eliza, if you could start.
programs. Oh, sure. Sorry, Jamie. Thanks. Yeah, we have several programs. So we head up the Beautification Arts and Sciences team. And so one thing that we do is provide about $360,000 to local art, science, and culture nonprofits here in Flagstaff annually through Creative Flagstaff. We also do public art projects, which Jana is really the lead for most of those here in the city. When we also do something called beautification, which beautification can be everything from public gardens to landscaping, such as landscaping along Route 66, so bringing more green space and plants into our city. And then we also provide funding for historic preservation for community grants as well.
Okay, and Jana, can you tell us a little more about the public art?
Yes, so I began with the city in 2019 at the very beginning of the year. And the public art runs the gamut from the utility, traffic utility boxes that you see wrapped around town to things that are integrated into the infrastructure of a capital project, such as the courthouse. So it really runs the gamut, and I'm really excited about public art because it does something for public spaces that is so unique. If you have a public space without art, or if you have a museum where there's lots of art inside, neither one does what public art does. Public art really captures somebody, walking through the city in their day, and gives them an experience and an engagement with their city.
So how can people get involved with these programs? I know myself, I was once a commissioner on the BPAC, or the Beautification, what is it? And Public Art Commission.
Yep, you got it.
Are there ways in which they can be in there? Or people can participate there? How do they do it? And what other ways can they participate?
So there's several ways that people can get involved. And one is, yes, to come to the Beautification and Public Art Commission meetings. Those are public and we welcome anyone. Another way is to apply for something that's called the Beautification and Action Grants. And those are for community-led projects up to $4,500 for a public art piece, a bench, a community garden, whatever you'd like to see in your community that fits within our scope. So that's another way. Also, we have increased public participation by about 400% during COVID, thanks to Jana. So one way you can be involved is to sit on an artist selection panel, or also keep an eye out for our opportunities for artists, which are on our website as well.
Yeah, I'd
Okay, and
like
that's
to
the
add to
city
that.
website, correct?
Yes, you got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
and Jana.
I Yeah, I would just like to say that there's also other ways to participate as a member of public. One thing that's really great about public art is artists want to know how you feel about your community. And so sometimes we've used a photo contest that we've advertised. Sometimes we've just put things out on community forum, had people answer questions that artists can use. We look very forward to a post-pandemic world when we can have face-to-face interaction, with artists and the public. We try to put the public in at every stage of a public art process, from the selection of the artist, the selection panel, to the before they design anything, getting that, what does the community feel about itself, to some focus groups that review early conceptual designs and give us some direction, like that's really working and that's really not working. So we try to really bring the public into public art.
Ah, that's really nice. It's really nice to see
Mhm.
that. No, I've noticed within the last couple of years that there has been a lot more variety of public art in the community. I know in the past it's been primarily murals. Uh, are there any things in the plans for that we can expect happening soon?
Who wants to
Jana?
go first? Okay, well, there is we're redoing the entry to the library, not we, but it's not ADA compliant. So that's, again, a capital project the city's investing in. And we have an artist as part of that design team. And so I would look for an installation of, new landscaping, ADA compliant ramps, universal inclusion in that design, as well as art features that will kind of go along the ramps and kind of engage in the actual design of the building. We're also out at the airport. They're doing a parking lot. But there's a sidewalk that goes from the parking lot to the terminal, and there might be an artist design fence that appears there next year, kind of in a footsrail fence kind of style. But those are two things that are coming on. We're also heavily involved in trying to find many projects, including a couple for local artists at the Downtown Connection Center. That's a project that has many parts because it's a very complex parcel. There's a building. I mean, the Rio de Flag project's going there. So we've got kind of a master plan from our artists so that maybe at different times we can kind of go in and do some projects. So the building will be the first opportunity, and we're looking at some art glass in the building.
Oh, nice. Um, and what about 3D art? Do we have any kind of 3D art coming up in the future? Um, in any of the
At the
areas?
DCC, at the DCC, eventually, it just might be delayed a little bit because of the construction, but there's definitely something being designed or thought of
Oh,
there.
that's nice. That's nice. It's nice to see that variety coming through. And what about the other things as far as the beautification and some of the sciences that are supported by the city? I know, Eliza, you're studying things like through Creative Flagstaff, through granting there. What other ways are there that we're promoting, the sciences as well in that creativity part of our community?
Projects include examples like native plant gardens that show people what plants are appropriate here, what you can plant here. A lot of our public art also has a scientific or environmental theme, such as the water justice mural that's on the side of Grand Canyon Liquors. So yeah, we support a number of gardens across town. We do plant trees as well, and plants are really important here in the city. Not only do they help mitigate the effects of climate change, but they also, help create a more livable city in many ways. So um, often that is the way that we approach science. And the main way that we support it is really by supporting our nonprofit science sector that are working on everything from environmental education to climate change action to Lowell Observatory. So we really have a broad spread of folks here in town that we are also helping support in addition to our capital projects.
Well, we have about a minute left. Is there anything you'd like to add? Jana, I'll start with you.
Oh, I just, this is such a privilege to work in Flagstaff because it's already such an incredible environment. And I just, encourage people, to embrace public art because it really does activate, the imagination and can really, help you love your community even more than you already do.
Oh, well, thank you. And Eliza.
Yeah, so I wanted to mention that all the work we do is supported by the bed, board, and beverage tax. So when someone comes and stays in a hotel or eats in a restaurant here, much of those tourism dollars come back into community investment to support groups like Theatrikos and beyond. So I wanted to let you know that that is how we are funded and to encourage you to continue to support that fund.
All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you. Our time is up. And thank you so much for joining us here on Live from the Theater Basement.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yes, Jamie, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. 8-year-old Virginia O'Hanlon asks the editors of the New York Post, "Is there a Santa Claus?" Their heartwarming answer on the front page of the newspaper is part of the American Christmas tradition. Based on a true story, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus playing this Christmas. Tickets now available at theatrikos.com.
Our correspondent this evening, Jamie Hasapis, our two Flagstaff beautification experts from the city of Flagstaff, Eliza Kretzmann and Jana Weldon. I will tell you, I've had a chance to work with both of them, and they are top-notch. And Eliza, we will miss you in the city of Flagstaff. Live from the theater basement, producer Linda Cetera, engineers Sam Bradbury and Matt Brewer, technicians Joe Maniglia and Ava Haynes on the phone from Chicago. Associate producers Virginia Brown, Joe Maniglia, and Michael Rulon. Correspondents Mackenzie Chase, Jamie Asapis, Lynn Timmons-Edwards, and Sel Wasson. Our crew, Bailey Cunningham, Sam Dickman, Jeremy Haynes, Angela Keith, and Justin Moscow. Dramaturgy, Theatrikos Artistic Committee, Play Curation, Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase, Executive Producer Chris Farrell. Live from the theater basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcast, is a production of Theatrikos Theatre Company in partnership with Northern Arizona Playwriting Showcase and Deuteron Films. Theatrikos Theatre Company, Flagstaff, Arizona, is the theater company of Northern Arizona and the Grand Canyon, embracing the spirit of Broadway with such shows as I Hate Hamlet. It's an anti-Shakespearean comedy now playing. It's playing here in the theater live with in-person audiences that follow 3 safety protocols. 1, social distancing. 2, you always wear your mask. 3, everyone has to show proof of vaccination. It's how we produce great theater and keep you as safe as we can during these tumultuous times. Live from the theater basement, the weekly podcast streaming show from Theatrikos Theatre Company alternates between 10-minute short plays and interviews with Arizona's arts and beautification leaders. If you, as a listener viewer, have input, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at theater@theatrikos.com. Live from the theater basement, streaming live on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. and available wherever you get your podcasts, is funded in part by Creative Flagstaff, formerly the Flagstaff Arts Council, and the Arizona Community Foundation. Additional funding from Arizona Commission on the Arts, Flagstaff 365, BBB Revenue of the City of Flagstaff, Calf Country Radio, and patrons of the arts like you. Thanks for joining us tonight on Live from the Theater Basement. This is Theatrikos. Coming up next week on Live from the Theater Basement, the 10-minute play, A Good Day on Earth, by Shania Smith, and directed by Joe Washington. A brother and sister reunite after a year of separation due to COVID quarantine. They get together to process the grief at the death of their mother and father. And yet, it's still a good day on Earth. That's next Sunday, October 17th at 7:30 p.m. and wherever you get your podcasts.